Hello, DampSam here. We've got this property in Sheffield, and what we've got is this area down here that's all damp. Reason why it's damp is you've got a step just here. If you can see it, little step here, a raised bit of ground up, and then down here you've got a damp course. It used to be at door, and they've put a damp course in, which is down there. That used to be back door, but they've put it in and put a rubbish damp course in. Should be 150mm off at floor, and it's not. This stack is leaking. You can see that it's got algae all on joints. There's algae on these joints as well, and that's an indication that the stack's leaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some stone dry on this wall. We're going to put a new damp proof course, 150mm from ground level. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to hack that plaster off, drill and inject a new damp course, and then we're going to put a fast plastering system on it to make sure that it's all dry. So I'll see you later on. I'll edit this video. I'll see you later on, and I'll show you how we get on. Alright, bye bye. Hiya, DampSam here. This is part 2 of this video of what we're going to do here. Right, we're using a product called As DampSam. James is just whipping it up. Just one more go, just keep one more whip. James is just whipping it up, right pal? So what you have to do with this stuff, you have to put only a certain amount of water in. It's 3.6 litres to a bag, and you're allowed up to 3.9 at most, no more than that. Now, when it's whipped up, where's that Keller? When it's whipped up, it's like this, and you've got about, on an hot day, probably about 20 minutes to stick it on. So I'm just going to whip this on now. Basically, we're putting it on because of this step. So you've got lateral moisture affecting this bottom of this wall, and that's one of the reasons why it was damp. So I'm just going to whack this on. So you've got a waterproof barrier on bottom, and we've drilled and injected it just above. So here we go. What we've done is you have to wet the wall through at bottom. It has to be really soaked at bottom of the wall. I'm going to stick it all the way around, and James is going to point some holes outside when he gets another Keller. So we've drilled and injected it inside, and we've drilled and injected it on opposite side as well, adjacent wall. So we're whacking this on here. That's the end. And this will go off in around about half an hour. Come on mate, just get that to, you'll find that it starts to stiffen up. It doesn't take long. Just put this one coil on, and we going off in half an hour. Oh, an hour. We can then other system on, which is going to be plasterboard, because this wall's already had salt neutralising cream on it, as you can see. And another reason why we was in DampSam is side of the chimney here that was knocked off. When we originally came to look at the survey, they were all stuff in there, and we couldn't see this this corner down here. And when we arrived today, this bottom part, look, we're bridging and there was some damp on it. But what you get with chimney breast is you get what's called salt damp. This is ideal for it, even if you just want to put a thin coat on and then get a plasterboard on. This will provide a barrier, and there's no sulfates will come through it. I know I'm going from left to right and all that, but it's a good question of getting it on here. Getting coat on. Because I've previously damped it down. I'll get this first coat on and I'll fill it out. The rest of the stuff. And that'll be good to go. It's good watching other people work, isn't it? I love it. Then, a little bit left here. I'm hoping James won't need any more. Whack this out. Feel this. Starting to stiffen up. What I'll do is when it starts to stiffen up a bit even more, fill a couple of these holes in. That's a good thing. What DampSam is brilliant for filling any holes in. If you're going to put any damp proofing on. Then Phil Richardson, if you're watching from DampSam, been advertising your product, so I'm hoping that instead of 24 quid a bag for this stuff, which is expensive, it's going to go down a bit, you know. Let's have it at 15 quid a bag. Alright, mate, yeah. So we'll see it a bit later on then. Got that on. Next time you see us, I'll probably have stuck this board on. Right, so we put DampSam on, and now I put dots on this board, I put acrylic on, I put foam on, and I'm just going to stick it on. So I'll just flip it round and show you them at dots. You've got your acrylic, and then you've got your Insta stick, which is in between. Acrylic is tacky, and it'll have a bit of grab to it. This stuff is really light and fluffy when you first spray it onto the board. So if you just put that on it, you just push it straight to board without holding it off. But at least with this on, we can just ease it in place. it off here. This sticks out at the bottom as well. Get them prop against the table. That's first in place. That second one on the table leg. Just getting stuck with it there. Whip them up as quick as possible. That's it. There we go. So we're in place here. And that's in line at bottom. And what we do now, this is get us. Here's the stick. Again. Pop some Insta stick on. What I like to do, I like to run it on bottom, and then and this I'll just cut off after. It takes about half an hour to kill it properly, or 15 minutes to skim them to harden them. It all depends on the thickness that you do it. And then upside, make sure it's not touching wall. There you go. We'll take them packs out later. And that all that needs to do. Sit for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we can skim it. I'll do it on the side now. Hi, DampSam here. Simon from All Dry. This is part 3 of a 4-part video. So we've stuck boards on, we've got scrims on edges, on top as well. We're using large mesh. We use on outside of buildings. I like using that stuff. It's a lot tougher than normal scrim, but it's good gear. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to lash this this finish on. Just put first coat on so you can just watch me do it. Some people like watching other people work. So there you go. So it's supposed to be mesmerising watching a plasterer. So sit your head in front and go to sleep. Don't forget the shart if I spill any. Especially any lads who used to work with me. Damon Mills or Lee Broadhead. Or Lee from Precision, if you're watching. To give him a shout out. I think anybody else, James, who we ought to mention? Have I forgot anybody? Oh, Spenner. Yeah, this is how you do it, Spenner. This is the way that you do it. And Ben McLean, if you're watching, yeah. This is how you do it, mate. So what I'm trying to put through to you is how quick this system is, but also not just a surveyor, somebody who's been on tools for 35 years now, since I 34, 1983 started. So I've got an idea how finish goes on wall, just get it hanging it. And needs must, and sometimes you have to put a stick in. And as Norman used to say, he used to teach me at college, pressure, pressure, he used to say, some pressure on Sam. Put that bit up. The bit here that I've not cut off. No doubt there. Thing is, this plug socket's getting pulled out, so needs a new back box in. So this is nearly on. First coat, just about lashed on. Use all different ways, different angles here, Tom. Get that bit there. Lonely existence being a plasterer when you're skimming a room. A lot of plasterers work on their own. Don't you, Lee Broadhead? Working on your own. Rattling around people's houses. You need to get yourself an apprentice, lad. That's what it is. So there you go. So that's whacked on. First coat. And now you just hang around and wait. And start tidying up, cleaning your tools. Because you have to wait for this plaster to pull in before the second coat goes on. So what we like to do is sweshes that up. Sweshes back of that on. So that's all sorted. First coat on. I'll probably come back when we finished it, just to show you a finished job really. But so I'm signing out, DampSam. See you in part 4. Don't forget, if there's any of them subscribing things, if there's any things for the website, have a look at them. There's a lot of good value stuff on there on the website. We'll stick loads more videos out. So if just let us know what you want us to make a video on. If there's any bits of plastering, any bits of damp proofing, drilling, injecting, all like that, we'll stick them on and show you how it's done. So if you let us know, we can do it. All right. Hi, Simon here from Allsite. Part 4. This short video. Well, it's not really short. It's quite long actually. Right. It's all finished. It's all troweled up. All we've got to do is a final flash over it, which is the crossways, and that's good enough to paint. A polished surface, so just give that one of them. So the electrician's coming to put this plug socket on, and that's good enough to paint. So that's smashed off in a day, hacked off, drilled and injected, salt neutraliser put on, replastering in accordance with BS 6576. BS 657, yeah, 6576. 6576. I'm doing it off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's 6576. Anyway, so I wrote it down that many times. So basically, that is it's British standard for replastering after damp proofing. It basically says it's got to be done with salt neutralising plaster or equivalent. And basically, that's so it'll dry out. There'll be no salts comes onto the surface while at the back of it dries out and returns to equilibrium. So there's not just one type of plastering, but if you want to get it done in a day, you use this system, which has been produced by Safeguard, adapted by me with the Insta-Stick. So just to recap, so we smashed this off in a day. James has trowelled it up. I've come just done this last bit of troweling. Once the paint invoice, we get a guarantee for that for 10 years that it's going to be dry. Then put the skirtings back on, redecorations with an anti-mould paint. It's got to be an anti-mould paint. So like I say, all you need to do is subscribe to our channel, have a look at some videos that's coming up next. Go on the website, download your free ebooks, get some knowledge. Always use contractor that's with the PCA, Property Care Association. If you go on their website, you can do a postcode search, find your nearest competent contractor. Make sure that the surveyors that come round are qualified to certificated surveyor in remedial treatment or certificated surveyor in structural waterproofing. To be a member at PCA, you've got to have them qualifications, or someone's got to have them qualifications in the company that's a member. So you should be rest assured that they should be quite competent. Okay, so PCA website or our website. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.